We just wrapped up another week in North Idaho market, and there are a few things in this data that are worth talking about. This is your breakdown for the week of March 22nd through the 29th, straight from the Coeur d'Alene MLS. So let's get to it. County-wide last week, we had 42 homes closed, with a median sales price of $534,950, the list-to-sales ratio at 99.3%. Median days on market was 64 days, and active listings at 750. 77 were under contract. And the number I want you to pay attention to is the active inventory hit 750 last week. That's the first meaningful move upward all month. We held at 730 for 3 straight weeks. And so that tick to 750 is spring supply starting to arrive. And the pending hit 77, the highest of the entire month. More homes are coming on and more buyers are under contract at the same time. Healthy, active market heading into April. Real quick, if this is useful to you, hit subscribe and ring the bell. I post verified MLS market numbers every week for every major submarket in Kootenai County. You won't find this breakdown anywhere else in North Idaho. So the Coeur d'Alene Urban and Dalton Gardens. Last week, we had 11 closings. The median price was $464,000. The list to sales ratio was 99%. 74 days on market. 216 active with 24 pending. That median price moved down from $530,000 from the prior week. Price range ran last week from $380 to $1.18 million, with 11 sales across the spread. The median shifts based on which end of the market closed that week. It's not a correction. The list to sales ratio is 99%. So sellers are still getting full ask, and Coeur d'Alene is healthy. Now, Post Falls had 16 closes last week. Median price was $534,950 with the list to sales ratio at 100%. 52 days on the market, 143 active and 19 pending. 4 consecutive weeks at 100% list to sales ratio. That is not a coincidence. That's a market where sellers are pricing right and buyers are competing. With 1.3 months of supply, if you're a buyer in Post Falls and you're not already pre-approved and working with an agent, you're behind. This market, it doesn't wait. Now we drop into Hayden with 7 closings last week with a median price of $517,490. Listed sales ratio 98.9% with 55 days on the market, 109 active and 10 pending. Active inventory is ticked up to 109. It was sitting in the 90s earlier this month. Worth watching heading into April. Demand is still there. 10 homes under contract, and the weekly closings in Hayden have told us a much healthier story than the year-over-year monthly numbers suggest. So don't let backward-looking data mislead you on this market. Now, last week in Rathdrum and the Twin Lakes area, we had 5 closings. Now, I need to be straight with you about these numbers because they look unusual. 3 of those 5 sales were properties above $1.6 million, a waterfront lot, a large acreage, and a luxury home. That pushed the median to $1.6 million and the average days on market to 314. Not representative of everyday Rathdrum market. These other 2 sales were $550,000, $840,000, and $710,000. Normal, healthy transactions. 140 active listings, 14 under contract. The market out here is fine. This week just caught 3 outlier closings in the same snapshot. And so what it means, March by the numbers, 217 closes for the month, above February's 197, list to sales ratio holding at or above 99% countywide every week. Inventory just starting to build, but demand is matching it. For buyers, more inventory is coming, but don't mistake that for less competition. Demand is building. Lock in your financing now. For sellers, the sellers who listed in March caught the buyers who had been waiting all winter. Waiting until May means competing with a lot more inventory. And that wraps up this week of March 22nd through the 29th. All data is straight from the Coeur d'Alene MLS. March closes out in the next couple of days, and once the MLS publishes the full monthly numbers, I'll be back with a complete March market report. That video is going to tell the full story of where this market went this spring. So subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss it. Everything is linked below, soldbyspecials.com. See you then.